Coach, we are just talking about Owen Baumgartner last week. He comes out Saturday, gets 2 goals for you guys, the game winner. What did you say to him after the game?
Like I said last week, like he's Barry Sanders on skates. Now I know that's old. I don't know the new football players. I just know the old ones. But that's who he reminds me of. He's a little dynamo, and he's got to learn how to manage his game a little bit. It's kind of a little bit of a risk reward, but he managed his game very well on Saturday. And then when the opportunity presents itself, he's got $1 million legs and $1 million shake and bake, and he used that. And to be honest with you, that was a big upset. They are very good, and they're very good at home. They manhandled us on Friday. On Saturday, we came back. We weathered the storm. We took their punches early. And, when it was all said and done, we never had we didn't have one guy in our lineup, and we played without Rowan Horn. And we didn't have one guy in our lineup who played poorly. Everybody gave us a good effort, but the two guys that were above the rest were Blessing, and which we needed. He wasn't himself on Friday, and he came back with a spectacular effort on Saturday. We needed to have that, and we needed somebody to step forward in that third period. We're down 2-1, and how many games this year have we been down in the third period where all we need to do is win a third period to get points on the weekend, and we failed. And it was great to finally see us come through, and of course Baumgartner with his heroics got the game-winning goal. But no, he is a. We don't get a lot of players at Air Force that are worth. They're all worth coming to watch. They all try hard, but as far as talent, skill, ability, that are worth the price of admission, and he's one of them. And Hedden is another one. You get him every once in a while, and there's things you respect about every player. How do you not respect the work ethic of a Schwartz and an Adams and an Oliphant and a Parker Brown and the ability of Will Gavin to shoot the puck? They all got their thing. But when Hedden and Baumgartner wind it up from back behind their net and start coming up ice, that they have the ability to lift people out of their seats.
Coach, you mentioned Nate and Luke. Obviously, they weren't playing in Saturday's game. How are they looking in terms of their injury status, especially for Rowe, given that this will be his last 2 games? Will he be able to suit up this weekend?
I think it's looking good. Yesterday we traveled back. Actually, both of them were, feeling pretty good on Saturday before the game, and then yesterday at the airport, they were both bright-eyed, and so unless I hear something different from our trainer tomorrow, I'm real optimistic that we're going to have both of them back for the weekend.
Talk to me about this senior class. We've heard a lot about Rowe, but obviously it's the last regular season series for them. What have they done for this program? Can you just mention, guys like, of course, Will Gavin comes to mind, Luke Robinson, Parker Brown.
Hugh, I want you to hold that thought.
Okay.
And first, I want to go back and kind of finish. I want to finish this past weekend, and I think it's a good segue into what where you're going. But Saturday night was massive for us. We got manhandled on Friday, and then we go into Saturday, limping into Saturday, without Rowe, without Horn. We had James Callahan played a regular shift and hadn't played a game all year. Baumgartner was back in the lineup. He was sick last week, but we didn't play him on Friday, but he came back. Jasper Lester, who's a defenseman, was filling in on left wing. So we went in against the number 20 team. Number 20 ranked team in the country in their building. They manhandle us on Friday. We came back. We weather the storm. We take their punches. And ultimately, we find a way to win. And we find a way to win without Rowe and without Horn. And obviously, we want Rowe and we want Horn. But we know that we are going to be Rowe-less come playoff time. And I think it was massive for our young team. If there would be a question in everybody's mind, can we win against a real good opponent in the playoffs without Luke Rowe. He's such a driver for us, and as far as an athlete and a leader in every way, shape, or form. And what I think Saturday answered, is there's no question if we put our best foot forward, we can not only compete, but we can win without Rowe. And Coach Doyle met with the defenseman before Saturday's game, took him out in the hallway, and we played 7D. We played a 7-man rotation, which we never do. It's just the rhythm of 6 is a lot better, but we wanted to play 7, and we wanted to get a look at everybody, including Callahan. And Joe told them, hey, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, there is not a one of you that can replace Luke Rowe. But collectively, if you all put your best foot forward and become the best, and you're the best version yourself, collectively on a night, not only can we make up for Rowe, but we can make up for Rowe and more. But it's got to be done collectively. And I think the guys did a good job of that on Saturday. And to be honest with you, we're going to play this weekend, and then we are going to play in the playoffs. And I think we would have went into that first playoff game, not just the players, but the coaches as well, going in with a little bit of question mark. Are we able to get this done? And if we get it done the first round, are we going to be able to get it done in the second round? If we have to play the number 1 team in their building in a championship game, can we get this done without Rowe? And we answered the question, and I think it was just so massive. That win was massive in so many ways. Kept us in the hunt for a first round bye, but also answered the question that yes, this team can win without Rowe. We're not going to face a better team in the playoffs than RIT, and we're not going to face a better team than RIT having to play them in their own building. And so Saturday was massive. There's a lot of optimism now, and there's a lot to look forward to this weekend.
Coach, last year's superstition was the Lucky Undies. You guys are winning more games this year. Is there a different Serratore superstition going into it?
I'm pulling out. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm pulling out the Lucky Undies. The Lucky Undies are coming back out, and just because I don't think it would probably be politically correct. Might be the brand. For me to sport my Lucky Undies for the press conference, probably, might go over big. It might not with some. So we're gonna stay away from that. But they have little shamrocks on them. I think they're like St. Patrick's Day ones. And what's Mercyhurst's lucky logo? Clovers, the family, 4-leaf clover, all that. Well, I'm going to have those on Tuesday because I'm a Mercyhurst Laker fan on Tuesday when they play against Niagara. Like a lot of things, it's a shell game right now with where we're at. There's a lot of teams. We could finish anywhere from where told 3rd to 7th, 3rd to 8th. I mean, so there's a lot of things that can go on. And I never root against my buddy Brian Riley at Army, but Coach Serratore is a massive Black Knight fan this weekend. And oh, by the way, I sent that to Coach Riley, and Coach Riley goes, hey, I am an equally massive Falcon fan because they need us to hold Robert Morris down. We need for them to take care of AIC. So it's a fun time of the year. You know what? It's great to be in the hunt. It's great to be playing for something. It's great to have games that you're excited about. And this is going to be a fun, exciting weekend for all the teams in the league.
Coach, you kind of talked about all year, getting a sweep, right? Winning both games, especially at home. You guys have split a lot of series. Final week, regular season, you just talked about there's a lot of different scenarios. How important is it to come out and get 6 or 5 points this weekend to really help y'all?
It's a great question. And again, it's massive. Eventually, we're going to have to win a 2-game series. I'm not real good in math, but you're going to have to win 2 games, right? So we've got this weekend, and we've got Robert Morris coming in here, a team that we obviously you better have respect for them because they're well coached with Derek Schooley, and they've got arguably, if not the best goalie in the league, one of the top 3 goalies in the league that can beat you single-handedly. But all of this math and this and that, who we need this team to win, this team to lose, the bottom line, after a while, I got enough stomach acid, just worrying about the Air Force Falcons, let alone worrying about globally everything else that's going on in the league right now. The bottom line is if we're in a position right now. If we take care of business, everything else is going to take care of itself. And so it is massive. And finding a way, not only, do we better win a game, and ideally it would be great to win both games. If not, if we don't win this weekend, we're not going to get a first round bye. And you know what? If we don't win this weekend, we don't deserve a first round bye. So that we're gonna finish where we deserve to finish. And but it's all out there in front of us. We, for the most part, we control our own fate and destiny in regards to a first round bye. So no, it's you know what? If we would have talked before the season and you would have painted this scenario, Coach. We've got a whole season to play, but at the end, you're going to the final weekend, and you're playing for a first round bye, or if or not. Would you take that? I would have taken that in a New York minute.
Coach, I want to go back to Luke Rowe, obviously the heart and soul of this team. Final weekend here, he's playing. Is it kind of weird for him that he can't play in a like? How is he feeling about this moment, or has he kind of grasped it?
I think you got to ask him. I think it is weird. It is strange, but we've known about it for a long time. We've known about it for a long time. So, we know the score. We know what's going down. We're going to have him for these 2 games, and then it's over. Basically, it's not a season-ending injury, but you're going to have to look at it like you're losing your best guy to a season-ending injury. And again, going back to it. It made me very uneasy. I'm still uneasy about it, about having to go into the playoffs without him. But I tell you what, I have a lot more solace now, knowing that with what we accomplished on Saturday, that we're going to be going into the playoffs. We're going to be going into the playoffs with a lot more confidence than we would have had, had that not happened on Saturday night. Hey, I never asked to play without Horn and Rowe in a game like that on Saturday night. But the fact that we did find a way to win, it was massive at a number of different levels, and we're going to have our hands cut out for us when we go into the playoffs, regardless of who we play. But you know what? We would have had that. Even if we had Rowe, we would have our hands full. It's just the competitive nature right now. Collegiate hockey, the landscape overall, we've got 16 wins. And if you look right now, we're in the top third, in the bottom part of the top third in wins. There's very few teams that are running away with gaudy win numbers. Hey, the NCHC, look what Colorado College did to North Dakota last week. The Big Ten, they're winning a game, losing a game. The conferences are all, they're all tight. And for the most part, everybody's capable of beating everybody else on a given night. So right now we need to feel good about where we're at. This weekend is huge for a lot of ways. To get a weekend off, hopefully end up with home ice. The biggest thing, as you alluded to, was momentum. We need to have a good weekend to make sure that we've got the momentum that we want going into either the first round or the quarterfinals.
Coach, you guys are playing against Robert Morris this weekend, obviously going to be competing hard. But Coach Derek Schooley's former assistant coach of yours, and you know him well. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, they had a rough start, but he's kind of gotten that program back on track, despite it having been gone for the past couple of years. Talk to me about the job he's done throughout this season, what you think of it.
Well, he's done a phenomenal job, and he had to start a program from scratch. When he left here and went to Robert Morris, he had to start a program from scratch. And he had to start out with 20 freshmen or whatever they started out with. Like, that was the way you had to do it back in the old days. And if you ever have to start a program, now's the time to start one. Because you can recruit different layers on the transfer portal, and that's what he's been able to do. And so we've got a new team, a new Robert Morris team coming in, but they're not a young Robert Morris team. They're old. I believe they're the second or third oldest team in college hockey, and their best player is their goalie. And that in itself, when they've got experience, they've got an older team with experience, and they've got a goalie who can single-handedly beat you on any given night. We're not good enough to overlook anybody, and we're not. But they are a dangerous animal coming in, and they're trying. Hey, they're in the playoffs as well. Everybody's in the playoffs, so they're going to be playing for some momentum as well. And they may be playing for momentum to stay here and play again. Like that, if they were to have a successful weekend here, it's very conceivable that they just might stay. We might be playing them in the first round right here. So, but no, he's done a fantastic job. And you know what? In our sport, there's no bad operators anymore. Everybody does a pretty good job. To be honest with you, I can't remember the last time that we played against a team that wasn't well coached. And everybody's got good players, because supply and demand wise, there's more players out there than there are lockers available. So everybody is at a minimum competitive.